Okay, sige. Okay, sige. This video is a continuation from our previous na to nga video where we used we tried solving this example man, diba, from our previous na to nga video. So, because of that, we were able to come up with this solution sa Google Jamboard. So, this is our solution. Ato ang interval niya. Katong This is the illustration, di ba? Kung asa dapit nila ang kanang solution sa inequality unya dili. Yeah. So, as you can see here, it is in this format. Let me sabi. It is in this format ang solution. -3 naay kay real nga real nga number na diri ang imuhang real nimo nga solution, and we have we have an extraneous root at x is equal to 1. So both of these are the critical points, except one of this is a real nga number and one of this is an extraneous nga root. But if kanang kuan nimo ang kanya nga imong solution, this is how we plot our solution. So we use this type of bracket for our critical na to nga points where nga real number. And we use this kung extraneous yang root. But there is also another way of expressing this. So each one of the kanang sa naa ani nga area man, di ba, is a solution, and each one of these shaded areas na nasa pika sa solution. We already tested from our previous nga video nga kung asa nila true and untrue. So true ni siyang kanang nga mga kani nga values nga beyond nasa aning area are solutions to the inequality. So another way of expressing this one would be -8 -3 close bracket 1 infinity. So it basically reads the same thing nga ang ato ang solutions ato ang inequality is from the -infinity up to the real nga root, which is -3, and then from 1 the extraneous root towards the infinity. So mao ni siya ang ato ang solutions. This is actually one of the many ways that you could express solutions sa ato ang inequality. That's what the reason why we are going to tackle about the different ways of expressing solutions. So first things first though, let's try to recall sa kung unsa ang mga terms nato nga na-learn nato from before. Okay, so now let's open module 8. So what is it? So this will be the basis of our discussion. So let's say nga di ba, all the x values nga nato are called the domain is called the is the independent na variable or the input. Okay? And all the y values are considered the dependent variable or output. If you can still remember the katong function bitaw, the katong function box. So rag na ay input ani, which is si x, natong katong function na sa box niya, out comes f of x, which can be expressed as the y or the y values. This is the function box, so x. So one is the input, what we put in the function box, and this is the output or what we get out of the function box. Now, kani sila in kanang solution for an f of x. These x and then f of x, kay these can be plotted man, diba, sa Cartesian plane. Okay, so remember that the y-axis, this one, this whole axis nga padung sa taas, this is called the ordinate. And the x-axis nga mo span horizontally is called the abscissa. So in a set of ordered pairs, the points ang points niya sa domain, which is 1 2 3 4 5, kay naa siya sa abscissa mo stay. Aniya ang ang points nga 6 7 8 9 10 naa sa ordinate magstay. So how will that look like? So nasa 6 7 8 9 10. So ana iyang porma niya sa set of ordered pairs. So, nasa diri, magstay si 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, kabaw na mo, it's very direct. It's very clear. Now, in our study sa rational nga functions, ano siya, the domain and the range, but there are also different ways of expressing the domain and range. And now we are going to talk about this here. Okay, so number one is what we're going to talk about is the roster format. So this is usually nga maotong na exposed to before. So let's say for example ang domain let's say the domain nato is 1, 1.5, 2.5, 1.75. So this is how we express it. This is matong naanda nato from the previous nato ng mga examples. The domain is expressed in roster format if it's done like so. Pero, it can also be expressed in another way called the set builder. So, unsa nang set builder? So, nasya ka ng, ingani siya ang iyahang porma niya. It uses this kanang squiggly na to nga bracket, okay? So, it is read nga sa kanang ang kaning mga symbols bitaw nga naay vertical line, this is actually read as such that. So let's say for example nga let's say for example nga ang imong domain nimo kay nagspan og nagspan from 10 to 20, and then so ang domain sa tanang real numbers from 10 to 20, okay? Mana imong domain. Recall nga ang domain katong nasa x-axis. So the imong domain sa puntahe of a function is read as the x such that si x kay real number nga spanning from 10 to 20. So mo ni siya. So let's try to ato ning i-highlight so that makabaw mo kung asa jud dapita. So this is kintahay green. So x like so na. So kani siya highlight such that nasa diri si such that such that x is an element of a real number. Kani siya. Ito rin siyang green. Such that x is an element of a real number wherein x is greater than or less than, wherein x is greater than is equal to 10 but less than 20. So na siya. So si ikaw makintahay kay ni si wherein. So blue. And yeah, like so. So mana siya, mana ang iyahang code. Mana ang iyahang kanang symbolism kani this whole thing here, anya mao ni ang iyahang meaning. Okay? So, ang kanina pong next sad nga last nga way of expressing is by interval notation. So, for example, nasa katong solution na atong gipakita kanina. So, what are the solutions kita of the function of ingani ang iyahang expression 5 over x over minus 3. So, ang domain siya, if you can look at this forms equation. So, rational siya nga function. So, unsa man ang mga x values nga makapa-0 sa denominator? Unsa may mga x values, okay? Nga mao'y makapa-0 aning nasa nasa ubos, the denominator. So, of course, it's 3. Kay 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. So, basically, ang 3 is not part of the solution one, di ba? Kay we are going to, based on the definition sa rational functions, dili na to apilo ng mga x values nga kuan nga mo return og undefined. In this case, or 0 ang denominator. So, ang domain ani nga function can be written in the form of between sa negative infinity from the left corner of the kanang kuan of the abscissa and beyond 3 or kanang kuan or to infinity. So, ang appealer ani is that ang appealer ani sa domain is that the values of the domain can take all the real values of x except 3. Tama na siya. Otherwise, the function is undefined.